Today is April 18th, 2022, and I was resting outside of a location. Now, he said that it was a privately owned parking lot. Well, that's completely fabricated because it's obviously public. And I was parked outside of one of the Anytime Fitnesses, and I had gone to this location in and out for the last few days because I was traveling in the area. And I'll leave my review online as a one star for Google because of the immature approach that the owner, his name was Ian, had toward it. He said, well, can we talk to you? After I went and I cracked my back and used the restroom, and they have a dog that ran up to me and it recognized my smell. So it came up and was like rolling around so I could pet his belly. So I used the restroom, didn't think anything of it. I had presumed that with Anytime Fitness, since I go nationwide and I never have an issue like this, normally people are compassionate and they don't mind a female staying parked outside of a location so that she can have access to cameras and also a facility in the middle of the night, because they get paid more through silver sneakers than they do through any type of payment plan from these monthly, sometimes they only get paid $10 a month. So this man told me something about they only get paid for 4 sessions, and I've come in out of the facility in and out 9 times. And they counted each time, so it was, it was a burden to him because he said that I was making people feel uncomfortable because of the fact that my car was parked there during an entire day. So what you're telling me is that these inhumane customers that pay you $10 or so a month are worth more than your humanity. That's in compassion. And he said something about, well, you brought food in here and you were eating it. There's a table and chairs, and there are literally cookies and snacks, and you have coffee. So I presumed that coming inside and eating a salad was not going to offend anybody. So that's what I find hilarious about these circumstances, is because are you really thinking that you're kicking me out of a facility? Because you're not. I'm going to inform my insurance of the demeanor you had toward a disabled citizen. And also, too, I'm going to inform the internet about it because that's irrational. That is completely irrational. I was only there around the area for a few days, traveling back and forth. So the fact of it is, and then he was complaining because they didn't get paid for it. And I'm thinking, are you serious? And I told him, I said, that's very inhumane. I literally just woke up from a nap right now. I don't care what anybody thinks or says. Like, I will still find a way to manage. So the fact of it is, he thinks, the one lady was like, well, you're not listening. We're not allowed to have, you're supposed to have closed-toed shoes in the gym. And I'm like, they're flip-flops. I've literally seen people, even in their own gym, without shoes on, exercising. So they confronted me for no reason, because all they're going to do is make themselves look bad in the long run, because I even disclosed I've been sleeping, I've been living out of my vehicle for 1.5 years now. And he said, well, if you haven't managed to get your things together, situate something in 1.5 years. I said, I suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder. I'm not sure what timeline you're given to get over an issue. And I just smiled at him condescendingly because, do you even realize the mistake that you've just made by upsetting me? I didn't think so. So anyway, yeah, because the fact of it is that I go around saying nothing but good things about these facilities, and now they're trying to blame me for things like making their members uncomfortable for eating a salad and chilling around the facility for a little bit too long. I wasn't technically loitering because I'm a member of Anytime Fitness, but since they weren't getting paid, and they made sure to confront the issue immediately, and he was like, yeah, this is a business, we're looking for money. That's what Ian said. So imagine the inhumanity in this man, the audacity in this man that has everything he's ever wanted, and he thinks that he worked hard for it, and yet all of a sudden he can just kick out disabled citizens because they don't have the finances to have, at his fancy gym. So that's why I capture raw truths like that. And I was about to record, but I didn't capture it because at that moment I didn't have enough time to get my phone out and start recording. Otherwise I would have, because that was hilarious to me, the way that they tried to talk down to me just now. And they presume I'm not going to say anything to anybody. There's nothing they can do. What are they going to do? They can't call the police. Even me sitting in the vehicle right now at this very moment, that is not technically loitering. I am a member of these facilities. So the fact that they're having a nepotism toward, all my members feel uncomfortable. I'm sorry, am I not a member of the world? Am I not a member of Silver Sneakers? And then they were like, well, we're not getting paid for it. Every time you show up, you get, so-and-so gets paid for it because that's the first place that you signed up at. And I was like, oh, well, I didn't realize that. I didn't, I was like, I figured, I'd presumed that they would call to that location to get paid for it. But Silver Sneakers doesn't work that way, because apparently they presume that you're going to stick with one gym at all times and not switch up your mindset whatsoever. Anyway, every time I access places, someone gets paid somewhere. So I can't believe that they had the audacity to sit there, and thankfully I didn't have anything left to do in the area. I was just resting right now, and I was going to keep moving. But the fact of it is that, like, I just woke up from a nap, and then I had all these stupid messages that I had to avoid mentally because all these people are deranged. And one woman in my comment feed, something about, you need a job. Like, girl, do you even realize that you've never had a job your own life either? Like, you are, obviously you've got a perfect body. Obviously you've got a perfect, smile. You've got perfect hair. You didn't work for a goddamn thing in your life. And everyone knows that. Anybody with any aesthetic beauty hadn't had to work for much in their lives, because they ended up getting privileges that other ugly bitches didn't get. So in the times when I'm dolled up, I look completely different. So the fact of it was, I showered at this facility one time. I put everything back in its place. I didn't steal anything from this facility. I had 1 cup of coffee that was complimentary, it said. So I don't understand why I would make anyone uncomfortable. If you're a member at a place and you have access to it, I wasn't bummed out in that much. I was in pajamas and a t-shirt like I am now, and in flip-flops. What's the big deal? There shouldn't be a big deal. If we pay to have access to these places, if our insurance pays, whatever's covered, there shouldn't be an issue with people being uncomfortable. So obviously, and since this is the South, people have their closed-minded mentalities. I said, so what you're telling me is that you don't appreciate people coming in and out that are trying to stay safe, especially women. And I even said, and I'm pregnant right now. And he was like, yeah, we can see. And I was like, and is that some type of snarky whatever? I said it was from rape. And he was like, and he didn't even bat an eye. He was just like, like pure evil. Just his demeanor, just his attitude, the owner, Ian. That's the type of people that are going to get wiped off the face of the earth. Them and their children. So I just smile at them, and I think, I feel so sorry for you. Like, you don't realize who you're offending. You have no idea that you have made an enemy of the world around you by disclosing your mental issues and disclosing the fact that your money, your greed, has caused you to become this corrupt. So I think that's hilarious. I didn't expect to stay much longer in this area, like 1 evening more, maybe if that, but I was very tired. I was exhausted from my upset, my attitude toward earlier and everything. And then I was like getting messages as I was napping. And do I care? No. Do I block these people? Yeah. Do I just not even care about, like, I don't read the messages? No, I don't. So the fact of it is, and I enjoy going around and chronicling my life, because if most people saw me and most people heard my story, they would be giving in some way. But not these demons, the ones that are after greed, the ones that are after all these things. I literally have all these other access to gyms, even 24-hour gyms. And never do I have issues like this. Never do I get told, you accessed the club 9 times, we didn't get paid once, you're out. That's sad for them. And they said that I was making people uncomfortable. A majority of the time, this place was empty. Who was I making uncomfortable? A majority of the time, I would wait till it was empty before even going to use the restroom in the middle of the night, because that's all I waited to have access for, was the restroom. And what's the problem in that if somebody's getting paid for it? But since they weren't making money in their pocket, that means that their inhumanity was gone, or their humanity was gone, and inhumanity was the only thing they had left to pay with. So I feel sorry for them. You know, they'll always get theirs, always. And like I said, I'm going to disclose that online. I don't think they understand who the fuck I am and how I lost all this weight and how I've been managing through homelessness by keeping, staying appropriate and exercising and all this and that. I literally made and ate a salad one time. And for these people, and I know that some of the patrons that were stuck up, that looked at me because they had their too many muscles, they were mentally gone. A lot of the people that served in the military, a lot of the people that are officers, they'll pinpoint, they'll look it up, and they purposely have their vendettas and their nepotism, and that's exactly the types of people I come in contact with that complain about me. So, and a majority at the larger clubs, they can't complain. But since like he said, this is a franchise, I'm the owner of blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, do you not realize that I'm going to share your story? Bit and pieces of your story? The way that you decided to kick out a homeless girl that was raped and was just looking for some semblance of comfort in between her, on her path. But instead you just made things worse for her. And you didn't necessarily even make things worse for me. You made it worse on yourself. That's what I try to disclose. That's why I try to disclose these things about Pretty Girl trying to tell me to get a job. And it's like, okay. You're one to talk. Little Miss, I had the perfect family growing up. Little Miss, I've gotten given everything that I, deserve in life. And it's like, yeah, everybody's fucking crazy around me. Every single goddamn human. And the fact of it is that, like even right now, the fact that I'm making this video, I've got this on record. So if any fucking cops pull up and try to harass me right now to get off this public property and all this here, this is unpaved. The part the area that I parked in is unpaved across the way from the actual gym. So this isn't even an attachment to the parking lot. But since I spent a couple nights here, they think that they can talk down to me? I didn't fucking think so. I will clarify for the rest of the world the types of demons that run this place and the types of demons that you should avoid and not give your money to, because they don't deserve it. They don't deserve it. For someone to make money, make profit off of that, and then also too, all I'm doing is trying to help people. I'm trying to help people stay safe and stay, positive in all these things. And to share with them how I'm managing through all of these delusions of others and all these misperceptions and all these things. How are you going to feel unsafe with someone going in and out that avoids you, doesn't even talk to you? Obviously, she's pregnant because she's got a huge bump on her belly, and she's just trying to find sanctuary here and there, some semblance of humanity. And then people don't even realize, they try to tell me, well, there's resources, this and that. Bitch, have you sought those resources? Do you know that they don't exist anymore? Do you know that they have certain stipulations that you have to be on meth? You've got to have this and that. You've got to be even worse on your, down on your luck, even worse than that. I think that's very funny. And I know damn well that they know that I'm recording right now to make sure that, I've got to get this down before I move along. Because I don't need it harbor resentments toward it. And he even said, we'll just deactivate your key card, here on this one. I was like, please do. I'm never going to come back to this location. You've offended the wrong person. And I said, you've disrespected me. And I said, there's no reason to come back. And the fact of it is just, money. Just money, money, money. And it's like, are you serious? You think you're the only 24-hour gym in the nation? Do you think that you're the only this and that? And because she complained that I rinsed my salad bowl in the sink. I never leave that many food particles. I wipe it down prior to rinsing it. I'm always respectful in that way. What is wrong with people? I literally am one of the nicest and most polite. I am actually one of the types of peoples, the type of members that you need at a gym. I saw shit stains all over your toilet seat. What did I do? There were sanitation wipes, and I wiped the seats before I used them and everything. So I did nothing but leave your place cleaner than when I showed up. And that's the sad part, is that I don't utilize these facilities to take advantage of them. I utilize them because I need a space to use the restroom for a moment. And I've spent hours in their restroom because, you know, I wasn't feeling well at some instances and this and that. But for them to sit there and presume that they're going to get away with kicking out someone that is disabled, and I think that that's crazy. Like, do you not know who you're fucking with? Just because I have a decent smile, just because, you know, you see a disheveled hair for a few days, and you're not going to have compassion toward that. Instead, you're going to get angry at that. Do you know that that places you on the side of the spectrum that is so closed-minded that you don't deserve to move forward, and neither does your DNA or any of that? So you're just so greedy and compassionless that you think that you got away with something. Like, really? That's actually pretty hilarious, and I can't wait to leave the review about this because you know, everything else in the gym, it was fairly nice. There was, it was a nice accommodation. It was nice in this and that. But to be disrespected by the people that run it, there's no reason to feed the demon in that way. There's no reason to offer your money to people that are demonic in that way. So, Ian, you're fucking demonic, and you're part of that end of the spectrum, and that's why I smiled at you so condescendingly, because you feel like this is going to benefit you in the long run. Kicking out somebody when I'm going to disclose this to the world. I'm going to disclose it, and hopefully your gym goes down, you know, soon enough, and you won't be owning anything, and you'll be in a circumstance worse than mine, living out of my vehicle for longer than 1.5 years, because that's how karma works, bitch. Yeah. And I didn't say these degrading things to your face, but boy, was I thinking it. Like, are you serious? You're going to kick out a pregnant woman? Like, that makes you look like a monster. That makes you look like fucking worse than Satan himself, worse than the perpetrators, worse than my father, worse than, you know, Jason Wallace and all these people. And that's why I think it's funny, because I wasn't taking anything. They didn't have any camera proof that I was doing anything but eating my salad sitting there. And that's what you're going to complain about? There were literally like 3 people in the gym that day. And so I know which ones were bitching about it. And it was them in their fancy oversized truck. I know which ones. And the fact that they went up and complained and everything like that, I saw your bitter, ugly face on the woman and the man that was, you know, not satisfied within their relationship. So they have to find something else to bitch about because it's none of their business what other members do. So for them to feel uncomfortable, I didn't come anywhere near them. They stayed on the other side of the facility, and I stayed over by the table. And there's cameras right next to there where all their keys were. I wasn't, you know, fucking with anything. I didn't touch anybody's belongings. I never do. I stay to myself. And that's exactly what I wanted to convey through my reality, is that I'm a little different than most people. I'm not just a homeless person. So for you to sit there and presume that I'm just, oh, you're down on your luck, 1.5 years is long enough to get your shit situated. Really? Did you get everything stolen from you because you harassed your ex-husband's communications? Did you have all these officers assaulting you physically and sexually? Did you? I didn't think so. So mind your own business, and I can't wait to post this review and everything like that on your actual feed so people know the type of people that run these facilities. And just trying to make, he said, this is a business. We're trying to make money. Whoa. You'd rather have more money than humanity? And that's going to be marked against you, like in the long run. Bro, you don't even know how big of a mistake you just fucking made. So true. So anyway, everyone have a blessed day. Today is Monday, and I was on my travels anyway because I only went to an area for a short time so that I could get my teeth, you know, cleaned and everything. But I will be trying to find some way to get a little bit of cash here and there so I can have gas money to make it to where I need to go. Because This is obviously not the place. It's still attached to the South, and their mentality is backward. So, and they believe that their money, manages the world. Which is kind of funny. All right, Leticia Collins Servin. Bye-bye.